Welcome everyone to our September 1st, 2021 LPRCA board meeting. I want to say, hope everybody's getting along fine throughout the course of the summer here. And it's really nice to see everybody in person once again. One time we decided that perhaps this boardroom is a little too big, but when COVID comes around, it's not too big. We need every space we got. So, get on with the meeting, and the first item is to announce that this meeting is being recorded and will be posted to our YouTube channel at a later date. Are there any additional agenda items? First of all, can everybody hear me? Okay. Are there any additional agenda items for discussion today? Don't see any, so we will move on to the minutes of the declaration conflict of interest. Yes, Ken.
I have a conflict with the staff report number 196/21.
Okay, thank you, clerk. So noted. Thank you. Pardon me.
I'll speak afterwards.
She'll speak to you afterwards, Ken. And minutes of the previous meeting. This meeting was held July the 7th, 2021. It's the draft minutes. Is there any discussion to be had with respect to any of those items? I don't see any hands. I will move forward with that. It's moved by Tom Michele and seconded by Crystal Chop that the minutes of the LPRCA Board of Directors meeting held July 7th, 2021 be adopted as circulated. No discussion. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Now move on to, is there any business arising from the previous minutes? It's noted as none, so I take it that we'll move on. Review of the committee minutes. This is the Lee Brown Marsh Management Committee. The meeting was held March 12th. Any discussion to be had with any of those items? Seeing hands up. Judy, just a clarification here on one item here under financial summary with respect to the scholarship fund. It talks about giving 2 scholarships out, and you and I know that there's actually 3 scholarships. Does that have to be corrected here? Or is this the way it's supposed to be reflected?
So in the minutes of the next meeting where the scholarship was considered, it will note that there's 3.
Good, thank you. You know, it's been so long, Dana, I can't recall whose signature this is. Okay, try to remember that. Moved by Dave Harris and seconded by Stuart Patterson that the minutes of the Lee Brown Marsh Management Committee meeting of March 12th, 2021 be approved as circulated. Any questions or discussion? None noted, so those in favor of that motion, that is carried. Thank you. And now we'll move to correspondence. Conservation Ontario letter to the Honorable David Puccini from the Ministry of Environment and Conservation Parks. Any discussion there to be had? I did not have a seconder for this motion here.
I'll second it.
Pardon me? Okay, that includes all 5 items there. So you'll have to dig deep into your agenda package. I'll give you a minute to look through them. Yes, Peter?
Just a comment, Mr. Chair, that I thought the response from this board to the minister was well done, very thorough and well written.
Thank you for that. That was the. Any other comments? Yes, David Barrett?
Question through you to Judy, in regards to the the Drainage Act letter, will that affect Conservation Authority and their activities? Because lifting of some of these regulations? And let me rephrase that. Should we as a board be concerned that there might be issues with lifting the Draining Act, some of these conditions, and should we respond to it on your behalf?
Mr. Chair, I'm going to refer to Leanne.
Yeah.
I don't see there being any issues. I've worked with the Drainage Act and everything takes forever to do. So my understanding is this will help kind of accelerate some of those normal processes that would be happening. Just-
Thank you.
It's all about reducing regulatory burden. What to say? Okay, if there's no other questions with respect to those 5 items, moved by Ken Hewitt, seconded by John Schulten, that correspondence outlined in the Board of Directors agenda of September 1st, 2021 be received as information. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. We'll now move on to development applications and the staff approved applications. There are 35 of them. There's 10 pages, 26 to 36. We have, yes, Deanne Moffey here to give us the report.
Thank you. So LPRCA staff have approved 35
You need to move
applications.
your mic a little closer.
A little bit better?
Yes.
Okay. LPRCA staff have approved 35 applications for development through the general manager's delegated approval authority since the July Board of Directors meeting. The report summarizes the location and nature of development for each of these applications. The map that follows will show you where in the watershed the work is occurring. This report has been provided for your information, and if the members have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
Any questions of concern with respect to any of those applications? I have one, Leanne, and it's on the agenda, page 29, right at the bottom. Talks about 1422 Dowell Road. This is the application 165/21. It lists it as Wyndham, and it's not Wyndham. Must be something else.
You are correct, that's Charlottesville.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving forward, if there are no questions, I will read the motion moved by Ian Ravitz and seconded by Ken Hewitt, that the LPRCA Board of Directors receives staff approved section 28 regulation applications report, August 24th, 2021 as information. Yes, Ken?
Yeah, I should be removed as a seconder because that's the report that I have a conflict in.
No.
Okay,
No.
you don't have a conflict on this one.
Okay, sorry.
It's the next one. So are you okay with that? Okay. Excellent. So, no further hands up, no questions. I'll call the vote. Those in favor? Carried. Thank you. And now we'll go to the next report. There are 4 applications. And I'll call on Leanne to give that report.
LPRCA staff are recommending approval of 4 permit applications. The applications include the construction of 4 new residential structures within our watershed. 1 is located in the municipality of Fam, 2 are located in Turkey Point, and the last is located in Peacock Point in Halton County. We're seeking approval for these 4 permit applications, and if the members have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Leanne with respect to those 4 applications? Any hands up? So here's the motion moved by Peter Yipma, seconded by Ian Ravitz, that the LPRCA Board of Directors approves the section 28 regulation applications as per the staff report dated September 1st, 2021. Those in favor of the recommendation, that is carried. Thank you. And moving on to the new business, and this is start off with the general manager's report. Judy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So in my report, I'm just highlighting some items that occurred in July and August. We did have the audit finance meeting in July. We are working with the investment person to explore some different opportunities for investments. I did get a couple suggestions from him today, and Ken is actually, we formed sort of a ad hoc working group and Ken's also helping out reviewing the options. So we'll be having something in the near future to bring to the audit committee. We'll be looking to set up a meeting there. The campgrounds, we've been quite busy with the seasonals. We continue to get additional seasonal applications, specifically right now for the Haldeman Campground. And we have been running short staff, probably, I don't think we're unique. I hear this from different business owners that it's hard to retain staff and actually even attract them. So staff have been working very hard, and we've been trying to backfill with some different areas. So far, after this weekend, it will slow down for the overnight camping. So, but things are going well there. We did have a large storm in Bacchus, which actually caused some damage, and the one culvert crossing the Divot Creek into Campground A was actually washed out. So it needs a repair, and we're working to secure the permits for that from DFO. We are continuing to do some phragmitic control, and I noted there's 2 LPRCA properties. We'll be doing that on in September with some funding that we secured. We're gonna be doing actually today they started at Durham Wetland, which is just above Tilsonburg, and also at the Lee Brown Marsh. We'll be doing some cleanup spray there. So other than that, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Judy's asking for questions. Any questions for that report? None, no hands up. So it's moved by Robert Chambers, and I do not have a seconder for this one. So Valerie's the seconder. And it reads that the LPRCA Board of Directors receives the General Manager's report for July and August of 2021 as information. Those in favor? Carried. And we have Aaron Leduc back to give us a report on the second quarter financial report. This, I take it, will be your last report, Aaron. Thank you for being with us.
The Q2 financial report provides a consolidated and departmental update for the Board of Directors for the period up to and including June 30th of the period. Q2 operating revenues totaled 2.853 million with expenditures of 1.982 million. The revenues represented 64.7% of the approved budget, and expenditures 44.8%, resulting in a surplus of $871,851. Revenues are $871,000 greater than 2020, or up 44% year over year. Expenditures are up 19.4%, or $322,000 for the same period. The operating surplus of $871,000 is $548,000 greater than 2020 for the same period, or up 170% year over year. The 5 campgrounds opened on May 1st in accordance with the Ontario Regulation 8220 of Schedule 2. And the authority opened the remainder of the campground for day use and nightly camping on June 11th. Nightly camping revenues of $97,697 are up in comparison to 2020 of $4,000. That's due to the lockdowns last year. In comparison to 2019, to give you apples to apples, this year's nightly camping revenues are down 25.4%, or $33,181. Nightly camping has increased since June 11th opening. However, revenues are projected to come in 5 to 10% below their budgeted target of $306,800. The forestry program has issued and awarded all 3 of the planned tenders for 2021, resulting in $315,486 of revenue, exceeding their budget target of $300,000. The consolidated revenues for the second quarter are 2.853 million with expenditures of 1.98, resulting in a surplus of 871,000. Forestry sales exceeded their target, and high demand for seasonal campsites has grossed 1.03 million for seasonal, exceeding the budget of $856,250 for seasonal camping. Overall, the authority is in a favorable position. I'd be glad to answer any questions from the members.
Very good report, Aaron. And questions for Aaron with respect to any of those items listed there? Looks like everybody's pretty happy with your report, Aaron. So it's moved by Valerie O'Donnell and seconded by John Schulten that the LPRCA Board of Directors receives the quarter 2 financial report, June 30th, 2021, for the period up to and including June 30th, 2021 as information. Further discussion, those in favor of the motion, that is carried. Thank you. Now we're moving on to new business item, the Deer Creek Dam. This is a concrete repair. We have Leanne Monty here and David Paraki is joining us. If you have any questions about this particular project, and I'll pass it on to either one of them.
Deer Creek Dam requires major concrete repairs as identified by Briggs Engineering back in 2014.
Pull your mic up a little bit there. I think
Speak a little bit louder. There we go. So the Deer Creek Dam requires major concrete repairs as identified by Riggs Engineering back in 2014. The work includes repairing the wing walls by removing and disposing of the existing deteriorated concrete, installing a sheet pile form to wrap around the existing wing walls, new concrete patches on the inside and outside face, and repairs to the existing slope protection. The proposed work will be completed in either this year, this fall, or next year, depending on the fish timing windows from DFO. The request for tender for the concrete repairs was prepared by G. Douglas Valley Limited. The request for tender was originally posted on July 14th with a closing date of July 30th. When no bids were received by the deadline was extended to August 20th. One bid was received by Wattec Services Incorporated for a total of $179,630.57, which includes a $10,000 contingency and the unrecoverable portion of HST. The 2021 approved capital budget includes a special levy of $225,000 to Norfolk County to complete the works and to retain G. Douglas Valley Limited to complete the tendering and construction management. The tender for the repairs is within the approved budget, and staff recommends that the bid by Wattec Services be accepted. As the chairman indicated, David Bradley, who is our new water resources analysis, is here joining us tonight, and either him or I can answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions with respect to this particular project? Hands up, yes, Stuart, please.
Thanks. Maybe not really a question. I'm just curious. Is everybody too busy, do you think, as far as the construction crews? It was extended, 8 people looked at it, and we had 1 person apply. Is it just, are they overloaded and people aren't interested maybe in a job of that type or size?
Go ahead, Leah.
Just curious.
Through the chairman, yeah, I've heard from many people, just lining up contractors is difficult. This project also includes some diving activity. So Wattec is a company that specializes in diving construction projects, so it kind of works out a little bit differently.
Thanks.
And Peter, did I see your hand up? No. Any further discussion to be had there? Yes, Crystal?
Just in terms of the adjustment there, how does that work, Judy? When does that come back to Norfolk? The adjustment, because that special levy was already paid, was it not?
Yeah, I'll just turn it over to Aaron. Aaron has talked to the finance people at Norfolk, so he can give you the details on that.
Mr. Chair, I have been in touch with, there's 2 Vannings over there. I think it might be Amy or
Yeah.
Catherine, one of the ones. And I've been updating them that we did put the tender out. I did indicate that it's open for an extended period. We would invoice for the price, and then if it came in under, we'd refund it, but we have not collected as of yet. We were waiting for the results of the tender.
I see, okay.
So I will be in touch with Amy on Friday and let her know that we'll invoice for the tender amount. And if it does come in under, then we'll refund that when the project's complete.
Okay. Anybody else with a question? Yes, Dave Bear?
Just thank you, through you. We had the watershed tour 2 or 3 years ago, and we were looking at the dams at that time, and that one was, at that time, it needed a lot of work. I guess the big question is, how many years are we buying now by having this done? I think we'll get another 50 years out of it before it has to be visited again. You're not an engineer, I know that, but it's not something we're gonna have to do in 5 or 6 years, is it? Is it a
No.
patch or is it a fix?
It's, so what they're doing, so through the chairman, what they're doing is, so you've seen the wing walls and the repair they're in, so they're getting rid of all the exposed rebar. And they're getting rid of all that concrete that's deteriorated, so they're gonna chip that away, install sheet pile, pin it to the concrete, and then fill in between the sheet pile and the concrete.
First group.
So the idea that this is gonna be not something we have to do again in the near future, gonna buy us some time with those wing walls.
In my opinion, 49 years was quite a bit to get out of that with that much water flowing through it.
Any further questions? No, I've got one. I forgot what it was, sorry. I had it on my mind earlier, but anyway, we'll keep going here. So it's moved by Dave Barris and seconded by Robert Chambers that the LPRCA Board of Directors accepts the bid submitted by Watech Services, Inc. for construction services to undertake concrete repairs of the Deer Creek Dam at a total cost of $179,630.57. The question I had now, I recall, was, will this road be closed? It's an important road, it's Road 45. And will it be closed for a period of time because of this construction?
My understanding, David, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is the road does, one lane of the road does need to be closed while they're pouring the concrete. But the rest of the work can be done on the road allowance. My understanding is that the road will not be permanently closed for a duration of time.
I think the residents of the area would be pleased to hear that. So I read the motion, it was moved by Dave and seconded by Robert. Those in favor? Thank you. That completes our open meeting part of the agenda. And so we will now move to the closed session. So I need a mover and a seconder for this. Moved by and seconded by. John Schultz, the mover, Peter's the seconder.